Let me be honest with you. The reason people keep hurting you is not because they are powerful. It is because you are open. You walk through life with your emotions on display, your reactions predictable, your wounds visible to anyone paying attention. And trust me, they are paying attention. Every person who has ever manipulated you studied you first. They watched what made you flinch, what made you desperate, what made you weak, and then they used it. This is not cruelty, this is human nature. But here is what Machiavelli understood 5 centuries ago that most people still refuse to accept. You cannot change human nature, you can only change yourself. And when you change yourself the right way, you become untouchable. Not through walls, not through anger, through something far more dangerous. Calm, calculated, cold awareness. Stay with me. Your transformation begins now. The problem: why you keep getting hurt. Let me tell you why you keep bleeding. You have been taught since childhood that openness is a virtue, that showing your emotions makes you authentic, that trusting people makes you good. And so you trusted. You opened up. You gave pieces of yourself to people who never deserved them. And what happened? They used those pieces against you. They learned your fears and whispered them back to you in arguments. They discovered your insecurities and pressed on them when they needed control. This is not a flaw in their character. This is a pattern in human behavior. Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, and deceitful. He was not being cynical, he was being observational. The problem is not that you encountered bad people. The problem is that you made yourself an easy target. You reacted when you should have remained still. You explained yourself when silence would have been your shield. You sought validation from those who saw your need as leverage. Every time you chased approval, you handed someone the keys to your peace. Every time you let anger show, you revealed exactly how to destabilize you. Every time you begged to be understood, you showed them that misunderstanding you was a weapon they could use. This is the game, and until today, you did not know you were playing it. But now you see it clearly. The people who hurt you were not stronger than you. They were simply more strategic. They controlled their emotions while triggering yours. They stayed calm while you spiraled. And in that dynamic, they held all the power. This ends now. Not through revenge, through evolution. Your evolution. The first principle: master your reactions. Here is the first principle that will change everything. The person who controls their reaction controls the entire situation. Read that again. Let it sink into your bones. When someone insults you and you explode, they win. When someone provokes you and you defend yourself desperately, they win. When someone ignores you and you chase them for answers, they win. Your reaction is their reward. Your emotional response is the confirmation that they have power over you. But what happens when you give them nothing? What happens when the insult lands and your face remains unchanged? What happens when the provocation meets only silence and a cold stare? They panic. They doubt themselves. They lose their footing because the game they expected to play has suddenly changed. Machiavelli understood that perception is power. If you are perceived as unshakable, you become unshakable. If people believe they cannot affect you, they stop trying. Your calm becomes a fortress that no attack can penetrate. This is not about suppressing your emotions. This is about mastering them. Feel the anger, but do not let it drive your actions. Feel the hurt, but do not display it as a target for further attacks. There is a space between stimulus and response. Inside that space lives your freedom. Most people react instantly, automatically, predictably. They are slaves to their impulses. But you will be different. You will train yourself to pause, to observe, to choose your response with precision. Let them scream, you remain still. Let them manipulate, you see through it. Let them test you, you pass every test with silence and strength. Master your reactions, and you master your world. The second principle, become unreadable. The second principle is one that most people will never understand. Become unreadable. The moment someone can predict you, they can control you. The moment they know your next move, they are already 3 steps ahead. But when they cannot figure you out, you become dangerous. Mystery is not a trick, it is a strategy. Machiavelli advised that a wise prince should never let anyone know exactly what he is thinking. Why? Because uncertainty creates respect. Uncertainty creates fear. When people do not know where they stand with you, they tread carefully. They stop taking you for granted. They start watching their own words and actions around you. You have been too available, too quick to explain yourself, too eager to fill silence with unnecessary words. You told people your plans before you executed them. You shared your dreams with those who secretly wanted you to fail. You announced your pain and gave a map to everyone who wanted to wound you further. No more. From this moment forward, you speak less, you reveal less, you let your actions create questions that your words will never answer. When they ask what you are thinking, smile and say nothing. When they try to read your emotions, give them a blank page. When they expect you to react, remain perfectly still. This is not about being cold for the sake of cruelty. This is about protecting your inner world from those who have not earned access to it. Your thoughts are valuable. Your plans are sacred. Your emotions are private. Guard them like a king guards his throne. Be felt, but never fully figured out. That is power. The third principle, understand human nature. The third principle requires you to abandon your illusions. You must understand human nature as it truly is, not as you wish it to be. Most people operate from self-interest. This is not evil, this is survival. When you understand this, betrayal no longer shocks you, disappointment no longer breaks you. You simply see the game for what it is. Machiavelli observed that men will forget the death of their father sooner than the loss of their inheritance. Harsh words, but within them lies a brutal truth. People prioritize themselves. Their loyalty often extends only as far as their benefit. When you stop expecting unconditional loyalty, you stop being devastated when it vanishes. This is not about becoming hateful or paranoid. This is about becoming aware. Watch what people do, not what they say. Words are free. Anyone can promise you the world with their mouth while plotting your downfall in their mind. But actions cost something. Actions reveal the truth that words try to hide. The person who shows up is more valuable than the person who speaks beautifully but disappears when you need them. Start observing people like a scientist observes an experiment. Remove your emotions from the analysis. See patterns, see motives, see the self-interest hiding behind every favor and every friendship. When you understand why people do what they do, you stop being their victim and start being their student. You learn to predict.
You learn to protect yourself. You learn to position yourself where betrayal cannot reach you because you never stood in its path to begin with. Know the nature of man, and you will never be caught off guard again. The fourth principle, detach from outcomes. The fourth principle will set you free in ways you cannot yet imagine. Detach from outcomes. The moment you need something too badly, you become a slave to it. The moment you cling to a specific result, you give the universe and everyone in it leverage over your peace. Desperation is visible. It leaks through your words, your body language, your decisions, and desperate people are easy to manipulate. When you need approval, people sense it and withhold it to control you. When you need love, Others feel it and use it as a bargaining chip. When you need success so badly that your identity depends on it, failure becomes destruction rather than education. Machiavelli knew that fortune favors those who remain adaptable. Attachment makes you rigid, detachment makes you fluid. When you release your grip on how things must be, you gain the ability to navigate how things actually are. This does not mean you stop working toward your goals. It means you stop letting your goals own you. Pursue with intensity, but hold with open hands. Move with ambition, but accept that the path may change. Desire the outcome, but do not let its absence destroy your inner calm. Here is the secret. When you truly detach, you become magnetic. People are drawn to those who do not need them. Opportunities flow toward those who will not crumble without them. The energy of non-attachment signals strength, abundance, and self-sufficiency. You become the prize rather than the chaser. Stop gripping so tightly. Stop needing so loudly. Let go of outcomes and watch how effortlessly the right ones begin to arrive. The fifth principle, build silent strength. The fifth principle separates the truly powerful from those who merely pretend. Build your strength in silence. The weak announce their plans. The strong execute them. The weak seek applause before the work is done. The strong let results speak when the time is right. You have made the mistake of telling people what you were going to do. You shared your vision with those who smiled to your face but doubted you in their hearts. You gave them the opportunity to discourage you, to plant seeds of hesitation, to watch your progress and sabotage it at the perfect moment. Machiavelli warned that a prince must know how to act like a fox. The fox does not announce its movements. It moves quietly through the shadows, observing everything, revealing nothing, and striking only when success is certain. This is your new way. Work when no one is watching. Improve when no one is counting. Build your empire brick by brick while the world assumes you are standing still. Let them underestimate you. Underestimation is a gift. When they believe you are weak, they lower their guard. When they think you are harmless, they stop watching. And then one day you rise with such force that they cannot comprehend how it happened. But you will know. It happened in the early mornings when you trained your mind and body while they slept. It happened in the late nights when you studied and planned while they wasted time. It happened in every silent moment of discipline that no one applauded. True strength is not loud. True power does not seek validation. The lion does not roar to prove it is dangerous. It simply moves with a presence that makes every other creature aware. Be the lion. Let your silence carry more weight than their noise ever could. Build in the dark and emerge into the light undefeated.
The transformation, becoming untouchable. Now let me show you who you are becoming. Picture yourself 6 months from now, a year from now. You walk into a room and something is different. You do not seek attention, but attention finds you. You do not speak loudly, but when you speak, people listen. There is something behind your eyes that others cannot name, but they feel it. It is calm. It is certainty. It is the unmistakable presence of someone who cannot be shaken. This is the transformation. You are no longer the person who reacted to every insult. You are no longer the one who chased validation like oxygen. You have become untouchable. Not because you build walls so high that nothing gets in, but because you built a self so solid that nothing can break it. People will test you. They always test those who rise. They will throw words designed to trigger you. They will create situations meant to destabilize you. They will watch closely for cracks in your armor, and they will find nothing. Your face will remain calm. Your voice will stay measured. Your energy will be unaffected. They will walk away confused because every weapon they used to use against you no longer works. The insults that once made you spiral now pass through you like wind through an open window. The rejection that once crushed you now simply redirects you. The betrayal that once broke you now only confirms what you already expected from human nature. You have become a student of the game rather than its victim. This transformation is not about becoming heartless. It is about becoming strategic with your heart. You still feel, you still care, but you choose where to invest those emotions. You no longer waste them on people and situations unworthy of your energy. You protect your inner peace like it is the most valuable thing you own, because it is. The old you was a leaf blown by every wind of opinion and circumstance. The new you is the mountain that watches the winds pass without moving an inch. Stand firm, stand calm, stand untouchable. This is who you were always meant to be. The warning. Use this wisely. Now I must give you a warning. What you have learned here is powerful, and power without wisdom becomes destruction. Machiavelli himself was not a monster. He was a realist who understood that the world rewards those who see clearly and act strategically. But he also understood that cruelty for the sake of cruelty creates enemies. Unnecessary harshness builds resentment that eventually returns with force. So hear me clearly. This knowledge is not a weapon for attacking the innocent. It is armor for protecting the deserving you. There is a difference between being untouchable and being cruel. There is a distance between strategic silence and emotional manipulation. You must walk that line with discipline. Use these principles to guard your peace, not to disturb the peace of others without cause. Use this awareness of human nature to protect yourself from predators, not to become one yourself. The goal is not to become cold and empty. The goal is to become calm and full of self-respect, full of boundaries, full of quiet power that does not need to prove itself through dominance over the weak. A truly powerful man does not need to crush others to feel strong. He knows his strength. He carries it silently. He uses it only when necessary and never for sport. Those who abuse power eventually lose it. History shows this pattern again and again. The tyrant creates so many enemies that one day he is surrounded with no allies left. But the man who wields power with discipline and wisdom builds a legacy that endures. He earns respect rather than demanding it. He inspires loyalty rather than forcing compliance.
Be that man. Let your strength be felt but not feared by those who mean you no harm. Let your calm be a refuge for those who deserve your trust, not a wall against the entire world. Stay sharp, but do not cut those who never threatened you. Stay guarded, but allow the worthy to enter your inner circle. Stay powerful, but never forget that the highest form of power is the power you never have to use because your presence alone commands respect. This is the balance. Strategy without cruelty. Strength without arrogance, awareness without paranoia. Master this balance, and you will not only be untouchable, you will be unmatched. You will be the man others admire and never fully understand, and that is exactly where you want to be. Your new beginning. You have reached the end of this message, but you stand at the beginning of something far greater. Everything you have heard today was not entertainment, it was instruction, it was preparation, it was the blueprint for a version of yourself that most people will never have the courage to become. The old you walked into this video carrying wounds, carrying doubts, carrying the weight of every time someone made you feel small. But that version of you no longer exists. You have seen behind the curtain. You understand now that your emotions were being used as entry points. Your reactions were being weaponized against you. Your openness was not a virtue, but a vulnerability in a world that does not reward the naive. Now you hold the keys. Master your reactions. Become unreadable. Understand human nature without illusion. Detach from outcomes that once controlled you. Build your strength in silence. These are not just ideas, these are the pillars of your new identity. And if you apply them with discipline, no one will ever have the same power over you again. You will walk through conflict with calm that unsettles your opponents. You will face betrayal with awareness that saw it coming. You will handle success and failure with the same unmoved composure, because neither defines you anymore. You define you. This is your rebirth, not with noise and announcement, but with quiet knowing, with inner steel that does not bend, with eyes that see clearly, and a heart that guards itself wisely. The world will not change for you. People will not suddenly become loyal and trustworthy because you wish it, but you have changed, and that changes everything. You are no longer a target. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer easy to break. You are untouchable. Now carry this with you, not as arrogance, but as assurance, not as coldness, but as clarity. Let every room you enter feel the presence of someone who has mastered himself. Let every person who once doubted you wonder what happened to the man they thought they knew. You owe no explanations. You only owe yourself the discipline to stay on this path. If this message reached something deep within you, if you felt a shift while listening, I want you to drop a comment below with this phrase. Type the words, "I am untouchable," and speak it into existence. Let the algorithm carry your declaration. Let your own eyes read it back to you as a reminder of who you have chosen to become. And if you are committed to this transformation, hit the like button right now. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss another message designed to sharpen your mind and strengthen your spirit. This is only the beginning. Stay calm, stay sharp, stay untouchable.